Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a stuff that my mom has knit for me. So I only started knitting around I think maybe 2021 or 2022, but my mom has been knitting since she was 2 years old. I don't know how that's possible, but that's what she says, so I'm gonna go with it. And she's done a combination of knitting and crochet her whole life. So I have a lot of pieces from her that she knit for herself, but typically those are more itchy yarns and just stuff that she's knit me when I was a child. But these are going to be focused more on stuff that I've had her knit while I was like this size, like full grown size. So yeah, these are some of the things that she's made me, I would say in the past between 5 and 2 years ago. She kind of hasn't been knitting for me a lot recently, or just knitting that much in general, and now I can knit too. So that's just my little preface for this video. And also I just want to mention that she doesn't use patterns. She doesn't know how to read a pattern, so I don't know where you can find these patterns. So sorry. If there's something that I think you can probably find out there, I will definitely mention it. But without any further ado, let's get started. So this first piece is kind of funny because it's supposed to be a knockoff Gucci sweater or cardigan. So we went to a Gucci store one time and I was like, wow, that jacket's really cool. And it was I think $3,000 or $4,000. And I was like, Mom, can you knit that for me? And she was like, yeah. So we went to the yarn store, spent money on yarn, which, I mean, it wasn't $3,000 or $4,000, but that thing where people are like, oh, I can buy it at the store for $20 or I can make it for $150, But anyway, so instead of the Gucci, the G, she put A for Annabelle. And it has little lion buttons and all that. The yarn here is different than the yarn here, but both of the sleeves have it, and I guess this inner part has it too. So yeah, it's not perfect. I think she just ran out of yarn for it, and I actually I think I've worn this one time. It's just really warm, but I do want to wear it more. It's a very nice jacket. It's super soft. I think it's alpaca, but yeah, no pattern for that. We took photos. So okay, so this next one is actually, it's a virtual yarns pattern, the thistle shawl, but my mom just looked at it and made it, so I don't think this is completely accurate to what it looks like. And we bought this yarn in the Lakes District, but we didn't realize that, I guess maybe the dye lot was different, because halfway in between it changes color, which is a little bit awkward. So then it just has this crochet edge and obviously the thistle. So that one's an actual pattern. You can find it probably. She just kind of looked at the picture though. Also, I mean, all of these are looked at the picture moments, but all right, this is, I feel a theme for this video is gonna be scrappy knitting and not having enough yarn to finish a project. This is just a variegated vest, and we didn't have enough to make, we didn't even have enough to finish this side, so she used this yarn, and then this one at the top. This is an alchemy yarn. I think this company's out of business though. It has baubles and just cool designs. I don't wear this because, one, I don't really like variegated yarn anymore, and two, it's very obnoxiously two-tone. I would wear this if I had a coat or something, but just to go out with two very different colors, I feel is a little bit shocking. Okay, let's get on to something that I love. Oh my gosh, this I think is an actual pattern, but my mom didn't use a pattern again, so we just got inspo from a pattern. She made this pumpkin sweater for me, and she miscalculated here, so these are kind of connected. But it's cute how they all have different faces and they all have character. The back looks good though. The back is well counted, I guess. But yeah, other than that, the sizing is very nice yarn. I like the colors a lot too. I wear this sweater every fall. I am so excited to wear it again. All right, and along those same lines, I wanted her to make me a Christmas version of that. So she came up with this. I think this is a free chart you can find on the internet for color work. And then again, it's just the Christmas version of that cardigan. Also very soft, very nice. Something that she does a lot, because with the yoke, it's a little bit hard to predict how wide the space is going to be for the arms. So she often does like this puff sleeve moment where there's decreases here and then it just like gets into a really nice tapered sleeve, and the whole thing is very hourglass. I feel like that's kind of where I got my hourglass silhouette for a lot of my knittings from. I think I mentioned it in one video, but I honestly pretty much never do a project without doing some sort of waist shaping because I like the way it looks. I feel like that's not something that you can find in a store where there's like a sweater that's shaped like that, and it's very vintage to me. Like I see a lot of 40s or 50s patterns, and it's really cool because the it's like a snatched waist, honestly, and I think that's really cool. Okay, this one's a crochet. It's actually the only crochet one in this section, but we just had scrap yarn, and I have a dress that's in this same, like, it's a green gingham pattern dress, so we had scrap yarn and I asked her to make this tote bag for me, and I wore it up to Canada. But the problem is I feel like since there's no lining, and then like when I put stuff in here it kind of stretches and like sags down, so I think I do need to add a lining, but it's quite thick. And we had to make the bands 2 different colors. This one's like part white, again like the scrappy knitting, part white and part green. Yeah, like I said, it was a scrap yarn project, and I think it used up a good amount of scrap yarn, so that's good. All right, here is some, gosh, you never see me making worsted stuff like this. I think she had to use a size 12 or 11 needle, and I made one with this yarn. Oh my gosh, did it hurt my hand. I feel like bigger size needles hurt my hand way more than smaller size needles, but it's a little capelet. Honestly, I added these buttons. I would probably change these buttons. I think they're a little bit too bulky. This is not very like practical, but I thought it was really cute at the time, and I love this color. We got this from a spinnery in Wyoming. I think it was Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I have a couple of yarn like spools from them left. And I also made a similar cape. I just don't really like it that much because I think the shaping is a little bit weird, because with bulking it's kind of hard to control the way it drapes. So that's just like my one issue with it. All right, this one is a pattern. She didn't follow it, but this is like a similar pattern to something in a book that I don't remember the name of. But I'm sure you can find it somewhere. It's just this cape with pom-poms at the end, and it has snowflakes. But I think in the actual pattern, it's not like a cape. I think it's more of like, what do you call that? Like a, I don't know, like what's it called where it doesn't have arm, like a Chanel, I don't know if that's what it's called, but you just like kind of throw it over yourself and it just doesn't have the sleeves. So basically this, but without the thing in the middle that separates it. It's one of those, but I just wanted a cool cape, and I think it's really cool. Never really wear it though either. Honestly, I need to start wearing more of the stuff that she's made me, because they've been really cool. This one she made for me back in like, I think 2018. Super soft alpaca. This one's also from that same pattern book, and she didn't use the pattern also. Just the inspo for it though. But yeah, it's just like this folded over, very nice bulky cardigan without buttons, and this is probably like the one time where I actually really do like a bulky knit. It's hard to store in my closet though, but yeah, bulky is a little bit challenging for me, honestly. It's hard to work with, hard to store. I just don't really get much use out of it, but this is a pattern where I definitely love the fact that it's bulky. So it's like my one bulky cardigan. Okay, so this one's inside out right now. I actually also have like a big stack of the knitting right here, so when they're all gonna like start to pile up, don't be surprised. Okay, let me just turn it inside out. But basically the concept for this was, I don't know if anybody is a reader here, but if you are, and if you've read like anything by Leigh Bardugo, like Six of Crows or Shadow and Bone, maybe you know of Ravka, which is like, her books are, so like that's supposed to be more of like Slavic style of like a fantasy country. And my favorite character's name is Nikolai Lansov, like if you guys know, you know. But there's like a lot of fan art, and I really wanted a sweater based off of like the colors of that. And like their insignia is a double eagle, which is an insignia for a lot of Slavic countries, honestly. So I just printed out a photo of Oop, low battery. No way. Anyways, a photo of the Albanian flag. Honestly, you could take a lot of flags and do this. And she literally in 2 days, I printed out a photo, like not even a color work chart, came up with this in her head. What? It came up so fast too. I was shocked. But yeah, really like the colors. Like this turquoise is not something I gravitate towards, but it was the colors from the fan art, so that's the one I chose. And then this is actually a pattern from a book that she had. I think she just used the chart for this, but it's very like regal looking. And then on the side it has this little thing. But I will say the lamp may is a little bit itchy, so I would have to wear something underneath it. I have worn it like once or twice or maybe 3 times. But like I said, I live somewhere hot, so not the best opportunity to wear a lot of knitted stuff, but when I travel, I wear them. So, okay. Here's something that I'm not like the biggest fan of. I think the color is a little bit weird, but I like the concept of it. Like if it was just a different color and not variegated, I think this would be so cute. This is another design of hers, just like a little capelet again. I didn't have enough yarn to do anything with this, so that's what we came up with. Okay, so this is the last project, and I really like this. I just wish we didn't run out of yarn so we wouldn't have to like do one of these moments. I say we, but she actually knitted it. So it's just a vest that she came up with. Also here she has like a cable as a collar, which I love that idea. Like I want her to have her show me how to do that. So it has these cables on the front with the alchemy yarn that's also not in business anymore, like I mentioned, and then these cables are a bit different. And then she ran out of yarn, so she had to use this one, which is the same yarn from the first vest that I showed. But yeah, that was everything pretty much that I think she's knit for me in the past like recent years where I'm like a grown person. But yeah, I actually want to make a video where I show stuff that she made for herself, because they're like pretty old patterns. I mean, she probably made these like 40 years ago or 50 years ago, or even like I have stuff that my great grandma and my grandma knit, so maybe I'll share some of those as well. Because I feel like it's cool to show old patterns that people aren't making, because I feel like a lot of times we see a lot of the same patterns. So these are like from maybe either old pattern books or again like they came up with it themselves, because I don't think they knew how to read a pattern. Maybe not, I don't know. But they use a lot of I think German pattern books. Like she mentioned Borda a lot, to get idea and just show like what yarn they had accessible to them back in those days. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you really enjoyed this video. I love filming these videos, so thank you so much. Bye.